Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. My last show of the year, jam-packed with the best calls you've never heard.
I've had to use my retirement IRA to pay my mortgage while I'm unemployed.
How old are you?
I'm 32 years old.
What are you thinking? Plus, and did your financial advisor say to you, like most financial advisors did during this decrease in the market, don't worry about it, Gary, it will come back. I think you should stay exactly where you are. You have good quality stocks, yes?
Exactly.
Oh, how did I know that? And my year in jackets.
I got the jacket, that funky jacket.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Thank you for taking my call.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Did you have a great Christmas yesterday? I most certainly hope you did. Tonight, the show is all about the best calls you've never heard. You know, so many people call into the Suze Orman Show. We just don't have a chance to have all these great calls on, so we take the best calls and we make the show for you. Tonight, we are going to start with Reagan. Like so many of you, he lost his job and then he made some moves. Well, he made mistakes. Take a look. Reagan, were you named after one of our ex-presidents?
I was not. It's actually a family name, and it's spelled R-A-G-A-N, so we have no E in there. But,
I got it, boyfriend. There you go. But you're still calling from Colorado. I love Colorado. What can I do for you tonight?
Susie, I've had to use my retirement IRA to pay my mortgage while I'm unemployed, and I was wondering if there's any, creative or other solution to get this 10% tax penalty for early withdrawal to figure out a way to make that exempt.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Actually, let me ask you this. How old are you?
I'm 32 years old.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Blinken? Listen, it makes absolutely no sense to take money from an IRA and pay the ordinary income tax on it and the 10% penalty. And no, there is no way for you to get around that where you just take out money in any way you want. There is something called substantially equal periodic payments. Some people call it separate and equal periodic payments, whatever it is. But that is not what you want to do right now. It does not apply to you. And what are you thinking here? So the problem is you're going to owe now the government income tax on this money and the 10% penalty and a state tax penalty as well. And you're probably still going to fall behind on your monthly payments. And then what are you going to do?
Exactly. That's where I am right now.
All right, so here's where you're going to be. You're going to stop doing that because money in retirement accounts, especially a 401k, but there are instances where money in an IRA and everything, they are protected against bankruptcy. So you have to be very careful here. Don't go taking money out of a retirement account if, you're getting in trouble because you're going to lose the money in your retirement account and chances are you're still going to lose the house. So you need to come to grips here. Either you have to let the house go because you cannot afford it. You have to either do a short sale possibly or a foreclosure or a deed in lieu of foreclosure or sell it or get roommates or do something. But the answer to your situation is not your retirement account. I need to do a money logic second here because we need to make logic out of the money that our last caller is wasting. Listen, if you happen to be in a situation where you are taking money out of your IRA and you've now understood that it is a mistake, you never should have done it, you don't want to do it because you're going to be socked with what? Penalties, taxes, and the whole thing. You do have 60 days from the time that you withdrew money to get it back into your IRA. So if you have any place that you can get money, even a cash advance on a credit card, maybe a family member will give it to you. Who knows where it may be? But if you can get that money back into your IRA and it hasn't been longer than 60 days, you will avoid the income tax, the penalties, and that will be a smart move. Now that's being logical when it comes to your money. Now, Elizabeth, are you a powerful woman?
Yes, ma'am.
Ask me your question. Let's hope it's true.
I was wondering, how do I say no to my best friend without hurting our relationship. She asked if I could transfer some of her credit card debt, about $1,800, to a credit card of mine, or if I could get a small personal loan for her to transfer her debt to. I'm 19 and I know I can't risk my credit getting caught up in her problems, but I don't know how to say no.
How did I start this call with you? What was the question I asked you?
You asked me if I was a powerful woman.
And how did you answer that?
I said yes.
Let me ask you again. When it comes to lending your friend money, are you a powerful woman?
Yes.
What would a powerful woman do when a friend is asking her to do something that she does not want to do? What would a powerful woman say?
Say no.
That's what you do. As long as you are afraid of hurting somebody's feelings because you are doing the right thing, that is not powerful. That is powerless. You are caring about somebody else more than you are caring about yourself. Is your friend essentially irresponsible with money?
Yes.
And you want to help them. This is not a situation where they were in an accident. They got sick. They got in trouble and they need money because it was no fault of their own. They were irresponsible with money and now they want to come to you for help. No, you are powerful and you just simply do that. You say, no, I am not going to do that. You got yourself into this. You are going to get yourself out of it. Gary, that's my brother's name. Gary, I hope you're cuter than my brother. Just joking, Gary. Anyway, what can I do for you tonight?
Good evening, Susie. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've been with my financial advisor for 15 years.
Yep.
I speak with him on the phone. I meet with him usually once a year, and we exchange emails.
Yep.
What is his responsibility in protecting my assets during the volatile market? And should he have protected me before I lost almost half of my brokerage account?
Here's the thing. When you meet with a financial advisor, you should have a suitability clause, something where it's know your customer rule, where the financial advisor, part of their legal responsibility is to know, can you afford to lose money? How should you be investing this money? What are your financial parameters? They need to know their customer, which is you, Gary. If you talk to this financial advisor all the time, you meet with them in person once a year, you exchange emails, your financial advisor should have known your risk tolerance. They should have been talking to you as the market went down 10%, down 20%. Now, you just said to me you talk to them all the time. When the market went down 10% and you saw your statements down 10 or 20%, did you not talk to your financial advisor?
Yes, we talked.
And did your financial advisor say to you, like most financial advisors did during this decrease in the market, don't worry about it, Gary, it will come back. I think you should stay exactly where you are. You have good quality stocks, yes?
Exactly.
Oh, how did I know that? And you, Gary, said what?
Said that sounds good. I take his coaching, and he's the professional, and I stuck with him.
There's the problem, sir. You participated. You believed him. You said okay to your financial advisor, and therefore you don't have any ramifications against him. You don't have anything to come back at him because you had a 50-50 partnership with him, which is a whole lot different than an advisor who you didn't hear from. You met with him once. You told him you couldn't afford to lose this money, or you told her you couldn't afford to lose this money. And the next thing you know, you're down 50%. Now we have a problem. But you talk to this person all the time, and you, being an intelligent man, kept saying, okay, so boyfriend, this is on you as well as your financial advisor. D&P, you know what that stands for?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah!
How are you, Susie?
Good, you got it. That starts my night off fabulous when I do that, and, you know, they understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, Dee, what can I do for you?
Well, first, I just want to say how happy I am to have the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I want to personally thank you for all the great information you make available on the air and on your website. And I want you to know that your generosity is really appreciated.
You got to Twitter me. Are you on Twitter?
Sometimes.
You got to Twitter me. I answer questions on Twitter. People can't believe it's me, but it's really me. So twitter.com/Suze Orman Show. It's really me, everybody. Ask me your question, girlfriend.
Okay. I always thought that FDIC insurance meant that if anything happened to your bank, you received your money immediately. And an investor at my bank told me that the FDIC can opt to repay your bank account assets in T-bills or bonds, or even repay you over a long period of time if your bank should fail and there isn't a buyer for it. Is this true?
No. Just so you know, I work very closely with the FDIC. I happen to admire Sheila Bair, who is the chairman of the FDIC, so much I can't even tell you. I even send her emails once in a while. She emails me back. No, no, no. What happens is if your money is in a bank, if the bank goes under, everything will continue just like normal. If the bank closes on Friday, Monday morning, you'll wake up if that's when you need to go to the bank and the money will be there. So whoever's telling you that it's 99 years, that we pay it in this, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't worry. As long as you meet the FDIC insurance guidelines under the $250,000 right now, or you've set up your account so you can have more, but you still met the guidelines, don't worry about it. Debbie, you ask me your question, girlfriend.
Hi, Susie. My question is with regard to your information on paying minimums on credit cards to stash the cash
Yes.
for an emergency fund.
Yes.
I'm wondering if this would also pertain to any income taxes owed. I'm self-employed, pay quarterly taxes, have the money for them, but it will deplete basically all of my savings. And I'm just wondering if there's any form of negotiation for smaller payments to kind of keep some of that cash, or if you had any thoughts about that.
Let's talk about this. IRS, credit card companies. IRS, credit card companies. Unsecured line of credit with credit card companies. They have to sue you. They have to win in order for them to get money from you. It's a hassle. IRS. Oh, they can do anything they want at any time. You pay them 100% of what you owe them. You pay them on the dates that you owe them. And don't you ever pay less than what you owe to the IRS. Let's go to Virginia. Kristen, what would you like to know?
Hi, Susie. We have been told that a short sale of our home will be reported on our credit reports as a foreclosure, as a settlement. We've been told by various real estate folks and mortgage brokers. Now, we received orders, my husband's active duty, and we're forced to sell for less than what we owed. However, the bank will eventually receive the full amount of the loan when they're reimbursed by the VA, which covers the difference. We've always been on time with our bills. We have no credit problems, but now we're hearing that this temporary short sale will be reported as a foreclosure. Is this true?
That's true. There's nothing, it's not that it's reported as a foreclosure. Normally, a short sale, and again, if any of you out there don't know what that means, it simply means, let's just say you owe $200,000 to the bank on a mortgage. Your property, however, though, is only valued at $150,000, so the bank gives you permission to sell the home for short of what you owe them. So you sell it for $150,000 and then they deem that sale closed and you don't owe them any more money. When a short sale is reported on your credit report, it's reported something like this. The wording varies, but settled for less than amount owed. And when it's seen as that, it has the exact same effect as if you did go into foreclosure on this home. Did that make sense to you?
Yes.
But
and will the VA's compensation to our lender change that?
No, because once it's on there, it's on there. And do you think that these banks and these people go back and change your credit report? They don't. So here's the thing, is that I don't understand. If you're selling this for a short sale, why can't the VA just come and give you that money? Why do they have to give it to the bank rather than you? If you're selling short and the bank has settled for that, because that's all the house is worth anyway, why do we want the VA to give the bank more money when the bank has actually volunteered to settle? So if the bank is settling, you have a short sale, now it's on your credit report because that's all the home is worth, why can't they take that difference and apply it towards your new home? Can you at least ask them that one? Now, don't you go anywhere. I have been told that my producers have put together a surprise video for me. I don't want to miss it. Neither do you, but here's what's coming up next. It's their problem, not yours. You do not want an adjustable rate mortgage right now. You do not want that. And later, been wanting something? Ask me, can I afford it?
I want to buy a 40-foot cruising catamaran sailboat. I've been shopping for sailboats, wanting to get a sailboat for the last 20 years.
$370,000. Everybody, this is a big bucks deluxe.
Think Susie's just for Saturdays? Now you can take her anywhere, anytime with free podcasts of The Suze Orman Show on iTunes.
Bingo.
Never miss another minute of Susie. To download full episodes, just go to iTunes and search CNBC's The Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie.
Good evening, Susie.
Welcome back, everybody, to the best calls you've never heard. Again, happy holidays. Can you believe New Year's is almost here? Oh, my God, 2010 is right around the corner. And many of you think that in 2010, that is the year that you should be purchasing a home. Like Clark, our next caller, his credit union wanted to give him a hand, by giving him an arm. Broadway, New York. We have Clark, who works on Broadway in New York with us. Clark, what do you do on Broadway?
Actually, I'm in the national touring cast of Mary Poppins at the moment.
You are? Do you sing?
I sing, I dance, and I'm actually in your hometown, Susie, the Windy City.
Oh, you're in Chicago right now.
Yes.
So, all right, I always have to ask this. Just sing one little thing for me. Just sing a little tune, just tiny.
How about this? Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway.
Yay! I love that, Clark. So bark me a question, boyfriend.
Well, first of all, Susie, I have to tell you that my partner and I stay in every Saturday night to watch your show.
Date night with
instead of going out
Susie.
and spending money.
Date night with Susie. That's what we call it. That's called
Exactly.
keeping good company. Keep it with me on Saturday nights, everybody. Okay, what's your question, though?
Well, my question is, I'm looking to become a first-time homeowner.
Yes.
Probably early 2010.
Yeah.
And I do all my banking with the Apters Federal Credit Union. And so I just, asked them, what kind of loans do you guys offer? Because I thought I might keep it all sort of in-house. And to my chagrin, they said that the only loans they offer are adjustable rate mortgages.
So here's the thing. It's not to your chagrin. It's their problem, not yours. If you have a good FICO score, if you have enough for a down payment, if you're doing fine and can afford the monthly mortgage, any bank, especially in 2010, most likely will lend to you at probably a better interest rate because you do not want an adjustable rate mortgage right now. You do not want that. And let me set the stage for you, my little Broadway actor. You want a fixed rate mortgage. You want to know exactly what you get. You want to lock in the lowest interest rates that we probably have ever when it comes to 30 and 15-year fixed rate mortgages. So don't worry about your credit union. Don't worry about keeping it in-house. Spread your little wings and fly and go wherever you can to get the best deal. Debbie in New York. Hey, Deb, what's up?
Hi, Susie. I wanted to know how I can guarantee that upon my death, money left to me from my mom will go directly to my hardworking adult sons. I'm in a second marriage. My husband is wonderful, and I'm not cheating him out of anything. But I've taken my mom's $30,000, and quite successfully, I've turned it into $100,000.
Girlfriend, want to invest my money for me? How'd you turn $30,000 into $100,000?
Well, basically in the mid to late 90s, I was very successfully trading options.
All right, so you've been doing this for a while now.
Yes.
Here's the question. Have you taken this $30,000 that has turned into $100,000 and have you commingled it with your husband's name, or is it still just in your individual name?
Basically, right now, half of it is in a joint checking account that has my name and my son's names on it.
Yes.
And the rest of it is in CDs that are me as the sole owner, but in trust for them.
All right, so you should be absolutely fine. The best way to protect them, even more than a trust, more than a will, is to designate them as the beneficiary on these accounts. You can have a pay on death account with them. You can put this in joint tenancy with them. And then upon your death, it immediately goes to the joint tenant, which would be your sons, or a pay on death account upon your death. It immediately goes to them regardless what your trust or a will Bill says. So if you really want to protect them, that is the best way to do it, girlfriend. Now, we don't have many people call us from South Dakota, so Tabitha, welcome to the Suze Orman Show.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Anytime.
I have a question for you about my 401k plan.
Yes.
My employer recently introduced these new target date funds.
Yeah.
Basically, instead of managing my investments myself, I just choose the fund closest to my plan retirement date, which for me I think is going to be 2040.
Yeah.
I don't really know for sure. It does the work basically of rebalancing the portfolio, moving to more conservative investments as I get older.
And your question is?
Well, I'd like your opinion because it almost seems too easy. Are there any potential downfalls that I should be aware of?
Here's the thing. I am not a tremendous fan of target date funds. Never have been, never will. All kinds of things change in your life, and I don't know. I would rather see you insert in either index funds or different types of mutual funds, possibly even your employer stock for a small portion of the money. But again, bottom line, do I love target date funds? Sorry to say, I do not. Jack in Pennsylvania, what can I do for you, sir?
Well, Susie, my wife and I have $675,000 in a 401k that we have currently in a stable value fund.
Good.
We need to roll it over into another venue. We aren't making any money, but we aren't losing any either. We have no debt other than our mortgage payment. We don't have to touch this money for at least a year. And we both will be collecting Social Security this year. What can we do with this money to have it liquid, insured, and safe for our retirement?
Yeah. Why is it that you feel you need to roll it over, just out of curiosity? Is your ex-employer making you take the money out? Like, what's the deal that you feel you need to take it out of the 401k?
We don't have to take it out, but right now it's just in a stable value fund and it's not making any money.
Yes, but you said to me that in 1 year you're going to need to take money out of this, correct?
Yes.
All right, so therefore, you cannot afford to invest this money in the stock market. You really can't afford to take risk with this because you probably need the income from all $675,000 of it for you to be okay. What you could do is do an IRA rollover with it, and within the IRA rollover, you could buy different CDs that are probably paying you a higher interest rate than the stable value fund. However, before I did an IRA rollover, I would want to know that the CDs were actually paying me a higher interest rate than the stable value fund, because maybe you're in a stable value fund that is paying you a higher interest rate than you can currently get with CDs. Got that? So that's something that you might want to look at. If, however, you want to take a little bit more risk with your money, and you'll have to decide if you can or not, or a portion of your money, you might want to look into, within an IRA rollover, looking into corporate bonds currently that are paying a lot higher interest rate than a CD or your stable value fund. So I would do a mix of all those things to get my interest rate up there, but I wouldn't go out too far in my maturities, because in the end, few years from now, interest rates will start to go back up, if you ask me. Do you love the Can I Afford It segment? I do. Well, coming up next, I have some you have never heard.
I want to buy a 40-foot cruising catamaran sailboat. I've been shopping for sailboats, wanting to get a sailboat for the last 20 years.
Why is it every single person I know that has a boat says the happiest day of their life is when they purchased it, the second happiest is when they sold it?
If you think you need it,
fun round trip to the Olympics.
New wardrobe.
before you buy it,
Pinball machine.
A Maltese puppy.
World Series of Poker.
you better ask, can I afford it?
You are denied.
In today's hard times, you need a financial reality check.
You have been approved. Yay!
The Suze Orman Show, CNBC Saturdays.
What do you want to buy?
40-foot cruising catamaran.
Saddleback Leather Company briefcase.
Welcome back, everybody, to the last show, anyway, of 2009. Oh, we will be back next year. But right now, you are watching the best calls you've never heard. This is the Can I Afford It segment. You know, a little bit ago, we did a Big Bucks Deluxe edition of the Can I Afford It segment, and we saved one just for this show. It's John. And just let's see if you'll think that he can afford to sail away on this one. John, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to buy a 40-foot cruising catamaran sailboat. I've been shopping for sailboats, wanting to get a sailboat for the last 20 years. And I think I've saved up enough money now. I should be able to get this one so I can cruise around the world when I retire and live aboard the boat.
All right, so tell me, when do you want to retire? How many years from now?
About 5 years from now.
All right, so 5 years from now is when you want to retire. So 5 years from now, which is not that many years, it'll go by just like this, you want to buy almost $400,000 worth, $370,000 to be exact, in a boat. Why is it every single person I know that has a boat says the happiest day of their life is when they purchased it, the second happiest is when they sold it? Boats are expensive. You show me the money. $370,000. Everybody, this is a big bucks deluxe. Show me the money, sailor boy.
Okay, well, I make $9,400 a month. $9,407 a month.
What do you do?
I'm a federal government employee.
Are you telling me as a federal government employee they pay you $9,400 a month? So how much do you make as a federal government employee just there?
Well, my take home is about half of that. But I do make I make the other $4,000 or so in rental incomes from property.
Great, that's fine. Not worried about that. Just in 5 years when you retire, I know that $4,000 is going to go down to a pension of about $2,300, $3,000, correct?
Correct.
All right, fine. Thank you. Go on. Keep going.
And then I have out of my about $1.5 million worth of properties, I have $328,000 that's in ARM mortgages between 4.875 and 5.25%.
Great. Go on. What else you got?
I have $340,000 in savings.
And how are you going to pay for this?
I also have $265,000 in retirement.
Yes.
Savings.
But you can't touch that for a while. So, but I have a $370,000 boat that you want to buy. How are you going to pay for this?
Well, I pay $100,000 down right now.
You already did?
I'm going to be paying $100,000 down. I haven't paid it yet. But what happens is I charter it out for the next 5 years.
Yes.
And during that 5 years, while I'm still working, I can use the boat for 5 or 6 weeks a year. And the boat company pays me, the charter company pays me $3,300 a month.
If they can charter it out.
No, it's guaranteed. Whether they charter it or not, they guarantee me. They're leasing it from me for 5 years for $3,300 a month.
All right, so in 5 years, they're going to cover all of your expenses. And then 5 years from now, your principal, you'll owe less, but then you take over all the payments, correct?
Correct.
Hey, guess what? This sounds great. I have to tell you, I think you've done your homework. You have money in savings. So here's the good news. You are denied. And the reason that you are denied is this. John, 5 years from now, you're about to retire. 5 years from now is when your salary decreases and now you are on a pension. 5 years from now, you are going to add to your expenses by doing what? Taking on the loan payments of this boat. And while I know you say that you can charter it out and you can do everything for these next 5 years, I don't care about these 5 years. I care about when you retire. And when you will be 56 years of age, you do not have enough money to continue to live, support everything, and live the lifestyle that you want. And then I know you're thinking the boat will still be able to be sold. Do you know how many people want to sell their boats right now and they can't sell their boats? You have been denied. And you better listen to me. Otherwise, don't be surprised if your financial situation is absolutely sunk, boyfriend. Now, this next item that Chad wants, is a whole lot less expensive. But I want you to think about it. $600 for a briefcase? Chad, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to buy a Saddleback Leather Company briefcase.
You want to buy a briefcase for $575.
That is it. That is correct.
And how long I'm looking at the picture of it. How long do you think that's going to be in style?
Hopefully it'll be in style forever. I think it's kind of a timeless look, really. It's solid leather.
How long have you wanted this?
I'd say about a month or so right now.
Oh, so it's still a new thing. All right, boyfriend, show me the money.
Okay, I'm a college student. I only work part-time.
You're a college student and you want a $575 briefcase, right?
Yes.
What do they teach you at the college that you go to? Okay, never mind. Go on.
I make $1,300 a month take home.
Yep.
$483 a month rent.
Yep.
No debt, and $7,500 in savings.
Oh, that's the clincher. You have $7,500. How'd you get $7,500 in savings?
I worked a lot during the summer, really, and saved money.
I love that, Chad. Chad, I have to ask you a question. Do you, when you look at me, do you think of me as an old lady?
Not really, no.
Not really. So you can imagine one day you're going to be as old as I am, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, number one. Number two, if I asked you, would you spend $11,000 for this briefcase, what would you tell me?
No way.
No way. Well, guess what, boyfriend? If you purchase this, that's essentially what it's going to cost you. Because if you simply took that $575 today, which you could, and let's say you put it in a Roth IRA, and let's say over all the years it would take for you to be the exact age that I am right now, you made an 8% annual average rate of return on it, you would have $11,000. You are denied. This is not a wise thing to do. You should not, but I know that's not what you're asking, is it wise or not? But no, you cannot afford it. Do you hear me? Because you cannot afford $11,000 for this briefcase. You just said it yourself. Come back next year for more Can I Afford It? But you want to be part of it? Oh, just go to SuzeOrman.com to find the information there to play with us here. And now to a woman who spent money she didn't have, but don't worry about it. She turned her life around and she did become a Suze success story. You know, I love hearing all of your success stories because there is a reason I do this. It's so all of you can be successful. Here we are reading the paper and all of a sudden from Minneapolis and it's like, oh my God, Stephanie is throwing a success party because she was $6,000 in credit card debt, watched the Suze Orman show, got out of credit card debt, and what does she do? Throws a party. So here's my question to you, girlfriend, because I'm looking at the pictures of your party. Where did all of you get your jackets?
Well, I got mine for $7.99 at a local Goodwill. I think we all scoured some thrift stores so we could find some fabulous blazers to do you justice.
Oh, I love, there's my, look, I'm looking at them right now. Oh, see, there's one in the background. That's like a Suze jacket for sure. There you go. $7.99 is the correct price. So tell everybody what happened.
Well, like you said, I was $6,000 in credit card debt, and it got to the point where I thought something's got to change because this isn't really going anywhere. And I started taking some of your advice and just being really sensible about it. And it took about a year, but by the end of it, I decided to throw a party for me and my friends because they'd been so supportive along the way, and we all think you are just great. And so we just had fun. We had a great theme party. We all wore our blazers. We had a copy of the Young, Fabulous, and Broke book out. We had some bargain snacks and drinks, and we just had a great time hanging out, talking about what we're all doing to save money, and it was just a great way to celebrate. It's a big milestone.
Oh, I love that. I love that for all of you. So make sure the producer has your address. How many were at the party?
Probably about 20 to 25 over the course of the whole night.
So 20 of you, and how many of those would you say are being responsible with their money?
I think everyone is trying really hard. One girl brought what I thought was a copy of your 2009 action plan, but it turned out to be a copy of Catcher in the Rye. She'd put a picture of the book on because she didn't want to go spend the money on the action plan. So we're all trying very hard.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you 20 copies of the 2009 action plan as a gift. I'll sign them all for you because you're all doing great. So that's my thank you for all of you. So look for that. We will ship that to you.
I will.
But I hear you have a question for me. What is it?
Well, I'd like to know what you think my next step should be. You know, I'm pretty much a blank slate right now. I don't have credit card debt. The only people I owe are the U.S. Department of Education. So I am just wondering what you think is the next step for me. I have money I can start putting into savings. I could start a 401k, and I'd like to know what you think should be next.
All right, the 401k, do they match?
They do.
Whatever it is, I want you to immediately enroll in your 401k up to the point of the match, which is 6%. After that, I want you to start saving money for an emergency fund. Sure. Number 3, I then am going to want you to start saving money for a down payment on a home, because you should eventually want to own a home. And here's what I want you to do. How much were you spending every month or paying every month towards your credit card debt?
An average of about $500 to $600, depending on the month.
All right. I want you to pretend that you still have that credit card debt.
Sure.
And that you are taking that $600 a month in the same way you were disciplined to pay off the credit cards. I want you to take that $600 and whether it's fund your 401k, fund your savings account, do whatever. I want you to, at minimum, save $600 every single month. If you continue to do that forever, oh my God, you're going to be throwing yourself a serious party. Do you hear me, Steph? All right.
Sounds
Congratulations, and look forward to sending you gifts because you deserve it. Give me a figure that you would absolutely feel okay with.
Oh, gosh, I'm so darn safe anymore because I've lost so much in the past. 100. I feel very safe with 100.
You sure? Hey, want to know what's on my mind? Come on, everybody, come tweet with me. Go to twitter.com/Suze Orman Show. Come on, you can do it.
Hi, Susie.
Susie, hello. Hi, Susie.
You know, when it comes to the stock market this year, we have seen our ups and downs and our ups and downs. And some of you are just so nervous, you just don't want to get back in. Well, that's the case here with Elizabeth and her husband. Take a look. Elizabeth.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, doll. What's up?
I am so glad to talk to you. You're wonderful. My husband and I love you, but we're scared right now of the stock market.
Yeah.
Well, we were very lucky. We pulled our money out of the stock market in early 2008, so we didn't lose much money.
Good.
We're scared, though, and we don't know what our next move should be because we're all in cash and money markets right now.
How old are you?
We are 51 and 52.
Do you live in a home that you're going to stay in the rest of your lives?
No, but it is paid off.
It's paid off.
Yes.
How much money do you have right now in cash?
Well, in cash, we have about $650,000.
So you actually did pull every single thing out.
Yes, we did.
How many more years are you going to be working?
Probably about 15 more.
About 15 more.
Yeah.
Here is my question to you. The $650,000, what is the goal of that money? Is the goal for it to grow? Is the goal for it to never decrease in value whatsoever? What do you want to see happen to the $650,000?
Well, I want it to grow because even if we get like $1.5 million, to put it into CDs, that's not going to be a lot of money. So I want it to grow, but I am afraid.
All right. Fear is the number one internal obstacle to wealth. It is an emotion that causes you to sell at the wrong time, to buy at the wrong time. It is the destructor of wealth. As long as you are afraid, you get over your fear by feeling confident. So until you feel okay, Suze Orman is not going to talk you into feeling okay. Another financial advisor should not talk you into feeling okay. Only you and your husband should make that move. Now, you don't have to put all $650,000 back into the stock market. Is there an amount of the $650,000 that you would feel okay about investing and that if you lost all of it, wouldn't matter to you?
Oh, maybe about 200.
All right. If that's true, then whatever that figure it is, and I'm not quite sure it's 200,000 because of how you said it. Well,
right.
Maybe it's about 200.
Yeah.
Give me a figure that you would absolutely feel okay with.
Oh, gosh, I'm so darn safe anymore because I've lost so much in the past. 100. I feel very safe with 100.
You sure?
Well, I think so.
Listen, when I feel safe, I go, I feel safe with 100,000. Somebody says to me, are you sure? I go, you betcha I'm sure. You just said, I think so. So
well, see, I'm really not secure with any of it. Because
thank you. Now we're getting
honest. I was in the high-tech
honest.
bubble, and I lost like 75% of our 401ks at that point, and I finally wrote it back up, and now I feel fortunate that I got out, but now I don't know what to do.
So here's what you do. It's better to do nothing than something you don't understand. You can always do something, but once you've done it, it's too late. So the answer to that question is currently you don't feel good about putting any amount of money into the stock market. Until that changes, you can just keep this money in certificates of deposit, in high-yielding bonds maybe. Maybe you should take a look at, truthfully, taking some of this money and putting it into general obligation municipal bonds for 5%. Getting a nice return tax-free there. You don't have to worry about it, especially if they're in good states, good quality bonds, general obligations. I don't know. That's where the majority of my money has been for years, and I don't worry about it. So there are things for you to do and not just leave it in cash. Got it? But until you feel okay about the stock market, no matter what I say, no matter where the market goes, you stay out of it. Let's go to Maine. David, you are on the air.
Good evening, Susie. Thank you for taking my call.
Anytime.
I'm in the process of a divorce, and I want to change the beneficiary on my term life insurance policy from my soon-to-be ex-wife and put my daughter's name as the beneficiary.
How old is your daughter?
She is only 3.5.
All right, so let's just play this one out, big boy.
Okay.
You change the beneficiary. It's your 3.5-year-old daughter. You die. Now we have a death benefit. Comes to your 3.5-year-old daughter. What is she going to do with it? You cannot leave money to a minor. You should be setting up a living revocable trust. You should be appointing somebody, the successor trustee, in case something happens to you, that comes in and takes over on behalf of your daughter. The beneficiary would be your daughter in the trust, and then you'd be fine. But don't you dare go leaving money to a minor in a life insurance policy or retirement account, for that matter. Coming up next, I personally cannot wait to see this tape that everybody has told me about.
A videotape, Susie's year in jackets. Take a look.
Welcome back, everybody. We're inviting Lou on to this edition of the Suze Orman Show.
That's
Can
right.
you believe it? Well, I can see that you did not get a T-shirt, a new T-shirt for Christmas yesterday, did you?
I got some stuff, but I just haven't. They're just not in the rotate. They have to be washed, and everything's still in the boxes. Actually, all piled up.
Oh
on the
yeah,
corner.
like
There's a lot
do any of
cleaning
us
to do.
believe that
Please.
even if he got a great sweater or jacket or what? Have you ever worn a tie in your life?
Yes, of course.
Well, I
go to weddings and stuff. I don't go to show up in a T-shirt.
I know, but they tweet me and they say, can't he just,
Look, this is how I'm stuck in this. It's a thing. That's my thing, right?
It's
if
a
I started
thing.
changing it.
Well, I guess I
it's no more
shouldn't say
fun.
anything. Look at
exactly.
me.
You
I dressed
you
for
got
the
jacket
occasion,
thing.
however, tonight.
You did.
I did.
Very nice. No emails tonight, but we do have something to present to you, a videotape, Susie's year in jackets. Take a look.
How are you doing tonight?
I got the jacket, that funky jacket. I got the jacket, yes, I had it for a while. I got the jacket, that funky jacket. I got the jacket, never go out of style.
Oh, I love it. Do you think that I'm going to go down in history, be known as the jacket lady versus the money lady after all I've done with
I
all
hope
this?
not.
No.
That would be sad.
Lou, thank you for a great year.
Thanks for having me.
It was a great one, wasn't it?
Yep, it really was.
Yeah. And to all of you, thank you for watching. Do you know that next year we actually start our 9th year of the Suze Orman Show? None of this would have been possible without, number one, you, without the entire Suze Orman crew, without, money. You need money to have a show, isn't it true? But really, from all of us here on the Suze Orman Show, to every single one of you, we want to wish you a happy, happy, happy New Year. And we want you to remember, and you have heard this before, there's only one thing that matters when it comes to your money, and it's this: people first, then money, then things. Happy New Year, everybody! I love you.